What's going on, everybody? Rob here, back again to do my top reissues of the year. I didn't have that many reissues as I thought I did. Again, this list is going to be cut. I was going to do 18, but I knocked it down to 15 because I just don't want to put what I would find generic stuff in the list that I would consider top. You know, like Cherry Pie, Iron Maiden reissue, and stuff like that. I just didn't want to put in here unless it was something that was like really a favorite of mine. A lot of these are reissues or remastered, redone kind of deals. A lot of these are first time on vinyl, so it's a reissue in that sense. So there's a little bit of everything here. But I got my top 15 reissues of 2018. So we're going to just get started. A lot of these I'm not going to do a lot of talking about. I think most of us that like this know. So we'll just start out with number 15. And that is the reissue of Deliverance's River Disturbance. And this is on Retroactive Records on white vinyl. You guys that don't know Disturbance, they're like a Christian thrash, power thrash band. One of my favorite bands. They would fall under my top 30 bands. This album's a little less desired overall, but it's a reissue of Deliverance, so I will jump on it. So there's that. It's first time on vinyl, I believe, as well, too. Now, number 13 and 14 are the same band, but they came out reissued back to back. And that's the, let me make sure I got these right. Is the band called Kristabox. And this is 2018, self-titled. First time on vinyl, purple. Hair metal, AOR style. This one is more radio friendly, I guess you would say. And then their other album, which is The Bottom Line, this one's got a little more chunk to it, a little heavier, and I would actually say probably the better of the two albums is their second one. Sorry about that glare, guys, the lights in here are just... And that's on red vinyl, the other one's on purple vinyl out of 150, I think. Now, if I had the other reissue of this, I would also, this is this here, right? I'm going to check that out. Pretty sure it is. The first album, I'll just show you. It's Sanctuary's Into the Mirror Black. This is music on vinyl, MOV pressing, which these are awesome if you know, but this is just the black vinyl. There's a blue one as well. But they also did Refuge Denied, which I don't have yet. That would make my list higher. Both these would make it. I love this band. Love World Dane. As you will see, another one of the reissues is on here too. And this would be 12. Into the Mirror Black. I know a lot of people don't like the second album as much as the first. The first album was just a masterpiece. I get that, but still, I love the band, period, so it doesn't matter to me. And next is a thrash band, fairly unknown to most people. A lot of us in the VC do know them. And that is a band called Gumomaniacs. And this is pure German old school thrash metal with modern production. This is a reissue of their 2008 album called Priest of Lucifer. And this is called just like a 10-year reissue, redone kind of deal. Only 100 of these pressed. They just, I didn't have a place to sleep on this. This is on the gold and black vinyl. But if you like the old school bands like Creator and Destruction, and you'll love these guys too. So check them out. And you know, friends with the lead singer, super nice guy, super cool guy, good lyrics, thoughtful. Very, very nice guy too. So that makes it a plus. Great album. Great thrash album. That would make my top of 2018 if it was a new release. Next is the Jason Becker reissue, Perpetual Burn. One of the best, probably top 3 for me, instrumental albums ever. This album is so good. And it runs the gamut. It's on really hot pink vinyl. Just spectacular album. If you don't like instrumentals, get this album. This will blow you away. I don't even know what number I'm on now. So what was that? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. So this is number 9. This is a reissue as well, and this is on No Life Till Metal, Scott's label, and that's Helix's first time on vinyl. Bastard of the Blues, typical Helix. To me, it's got a little bit of a twang to some of the songs with the guitar, but a couple of fantastic songs on here as well. Good Helix album. If you're a fan of Helix, you'll love this just as much as the older stuff. This is blue vinyl, I think. 150 or something like that. I also have the black version. Getting back to World Dane. Nevermore's probably their best album in my opinion. There's this Godless Endeavor. This is a recent reissue as well. I got the silver vinyl, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't that centering look off, but it's not. Again, you like Sanctuary, World Dane. I mean, great band. This is a 10th anniversary reissue, and this is In This Moment's Blood. The thing I don't like about this is they cut out the name on the bottom, the album title on the bottom. I hate that's the sloppy. I don't like that. But it's on a really cool, clear, I don't know what you would call it, gold kind of vinyl. Nothing special, just reissued. 10th anniversary reissue. And In This Moment's one of my favorite modern bands. I'm losing track of what number I'm on. Alright, so I think we're in the top 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, number 6. There's another reissue on Rocks Records. It's a reissue best of kind of deal. And that's Soldiers. Babylon and Beyond. Yeah, Babylon and Beyond 30th anniversary edition. White vinyl, numbered, hand numbered out of 150, number 33. If you like early Dokken, you'll like this. Very similar. Fantastic release. If you can get a copy of that, which I think it actually sold out, which doesn't surprise me because their stuff is rare. Very cool. It's also one of the Underground series. That's why it has that J card kind of deal, which I don't care for myself. Now my top 5. Again, I didn't get every reissue this year, so some of these you may think are common, but they're not. I'm not really I buy the common stuff, but stuff that's never been on vinyl or stuff like that is what I tend to chase first. This is actually on vinyl, but I had trouble getting it for a reasonable price, and that's Odin's reissue from EMP label. This is a reissue on a really cool looking vinyl. Basically, it's an EP. EMP label, you know, Ellison's record label he has going now. But great album, great reissue. Sounds awesome. And it's on the 45 RPM. Was this remastered? I'm not sure if it was remastered. Reissue. No, I don't think it was remastered, but it sounds fantastic. If you guys have been on my lives, I've actually played it at night. This is another 10th anniversary reissue, first time on vinyl. One of my favorite albums of all time, and that's 6AM's The Own Diaries. 10th anniversary edition, first time on vinyl. It's on like 2 disc, black and like a weird red. black marble color. Just a phenomenal album. If you read the book, it basically just goes along with the book, and just an all-time favorite album of mine. Next, although this is copyrighted as of 2017, this was actually released in February of 2018. So this is a 2018 release, and this would be higher if it wasn't for two other releases, because this usually would be my #1 album, and that's Wasp's Re-Idolized. It's a redo of Crimson Idol. I'm calling it a reissue. I'm not going to call it a new album because it's essentially everything. The only thing different is they redid the songs and added some more, depth to the songs. It is fantastic, and this is the 2-disc picture disc one, and this sounds really good. And this comes with the DVD of the story, like it originally was supposed to have. But again, another one of my all-time favorite albums is Crimson Idol, and this sounds spectacular. If you have Crimson Idol and you have this, play them back to back. Aside from the same drum fill all the damn time, you will hear the difference in the songs. They're not as thin. They're really filled out well. And this, all right, now down to #2 and #1. This is really tough for me because this #2, it's literally a 1A-1. It was so tight. I played both albums again, and based on how I feel right now, this is how it's playing out. #2 is a reissue of Control Denied's Fragile Art of Existence. Another album that is phenomenal. You fans of Death, this is Chuck's band before he passed away. Very progressive, progressive metal, hard rock. It's very different from Death. If you're expecting Death with this, you won't get it. But I love this. If you ask me what's my favorite of Death and this, it's this. I love this album overall. And if you've never heard it, look it up on YouTube. This I didn't even know was coming on vinyl. I was just actually shopping one day, and I was flipping through, and I seen it, and I'm like, what the hell? Because I didn't hear anything about it. Didn't know it was going to be on vinyl ever. And it's on like an oak wood splatter kind of deal. I think 500 pressed, but fantastic #1A. Great, great, great album. If you get the chance to pick it up, I'd grab it. It was pretty reasonable. It was like $28 a few months ago, and I think that's okay for an album like that. I don't mind paying that much for a reissue of this fantastic album. And #1, Not Kissing Butt. This again is another No Life Till Metal releases. I can't remember if this was his first full release, like his own label release. But this album came out in 2012 originally, never had a vinyl press, so this is the first time pressed on vinyl. And although it's only like 6-7 years, it's a reissue. This is another album, like if you watch my CD, Peacemaker, this is a must-have album. It sounds even better on vinyl. I know everybody's like, it sounds better to me, and that's all that matters. I listened to this album probably 100 times between my CD and the vinyl since it's been released. And that's Banshee's Mindslave. This would be my #1 reissue of the year on Scott's label. Again, not butt kissing, because if that album was better to me, I would have put that #1. Let's see. Just about every song on here is good, except the only thing I don't like personally is Mindslave, because it sounds like Soundgarden to me, and I'm not a fan of that grungy sound, so that's the only song I'm turned off by a little bit. If I don't think about it, it plays fine. But you got songs like Taming the Beast, the opening track is kind of like Bloodlust from Peacemaker. it just nails you from the start. Hangman Lies, Killer Song, King of Nothing, Legend Lost. That's where you get to see George's vocal range throughout the song. All of it good. Full Circle is probably my favorite song on this album. It has such a build, you know. It's got starts off with a slow intro and then it just goes. But they have a new album coming out in 2019 called The Madness. Unfortunately, not on Scott's label, but anything from this band coming new is great. And it's very unusual that it's changing the singer and the band becomes better. If you guys like this, check out George's band. George calls other band is called Aska. Check them out. You'll like them just as much as you like these. Aska might be a tiny bit heavier, a little bit more progressive at times, but it depends on what album you get. They kind of change throughout. Again, #1 album of the reissue of the year for me is Banshee's Mind Slave. Okay, that's it for my reissues. Again, I didn't want to just throw 18 up there. I only put things in here that I would consider the best of 2018 for me. I am going to be doing my best albums of 2018. I was originally going to do 18. I broke it down to 50, and I broke it down to 35. I can't go much lower than that because there's albums on there that need to be spotlighted. So I'm probably going to do a top 30, and I might break it up in 2 sections. I wasn't planning on it, but I literally can't take these albums apart. And I've also got 2 albums I want to add to the list that are incoming. So I'm kind of hoping that they come in Wednesday. If they don't, I'll just add them as honorable mentions. Because you can't get everything all the time. There's still a shit ton this year I didn't get. Anyway, guys, hope you all had a good New Year. I just kind of just did nothing. Just bummed around and watched TV and argued with my animals. But cheers, Happy New Year, and I'll see you real soon with my best albums of the year.